Hi, my name is Christina Lay, and I'm an addict. I may be a recovering addict, but I'm still an addict. Why did I make it a point to say that? Because I could put any word in front of addict. Recovering, recovered, actively seeking recovery. Like, I can put any word in front of addict. I'm still an addict, and I'm always going to be an addict. Do you remember being younger, out playing with your friends, riding your bike up and down the streets, taking a walk down your bike trails or the paths where everybody hung out to meet your friends, just like being a kid? Whatever it was teenagers did, going to the malls, going skating, hitting the bike ramps, the skateboard ramps, going to the local beaches. Like, you remember the simpler times, right? Do you remember looking at the people holding signs? Do you remember looking at the people sitting in a corner just looking like totally ill and like just completely spent, like done with life? Do you remember just seeing those people and thinking, not me. That will never be me. I will never stand on a corner and hold a sign. I will never let somebody see me sitting and looking like this in public. You remember those people? Do you remember thinking that? Do you remember thinking just those junkies? Like, what the hell have they done with themselves? They must have zero respect for themselves to allow themselves to be like that. Do you remember those days? Do you remember saying that? Do you remember thinking that? I do. I was that person that looked at those people and said, oh my God, not me. You are not going to find me sitting on that corner holding a sign. You're not going to see me looking like this, wearing those clothes I saw that man out there 3 days ago wearing. Look at how skinny he looks. Look at how sick he looks. He can't be more than 20 years old. Look, I remember this, guys. I was that person saying that. Guess what? Not more than 10 years later from being that person looking at those people, I was one of those people. I may not have been on the street holding a sign. May as well have been. I was doing other things, begging, lying, cheating, stealing. I was that person. I was the person people were looking at, saying, what the hell does she do to herself? She could be really pretty. She could have the world at her fingertips. How did she get to where she's at? Damn junkie. That's right. I was a junkie in someone's eyes. Now, this video is going to bounce around from topic to topic. Why? Because I get very passionate when I start this. But the message is there, and I hope you get it. I hope you hear it. So, I was that person that people were judging, okay? I never thought that would be me. I thought I was going to be that person out there with a great job, because I have so much passion. I'm very smart. I thought I was going to be that person with the happy family, the white picket fence, the great job, the car that I wanted. Why? Because I was always told you could do whatever you want to do. Addiction found me. Was not that person. I was the other person. The person on the corner. The person holding the sign. The junkie that I said, not me. Addiction found me, guys. But little did I know, I was an addict my whole life. And I've talked about this in previous videos. I was addicted. I was an addict before I even picked up that drug. I was addicted to making people happy, but I didn't know how to make people happy because I felt I was not worth anything. I had no worth. I had no hopes of myself. I thought so low of myself. So I would lie. I would make these huge stories to make people like me. I was addicted to that feeling. I was addicted to that attention. I became addicted to manipulation. I became addicted to basically lying. Lying was an addiction to me. Because I wanted to make myself seem like this great person. I wanted to give people something to look at me for and be like, wow, she's really awesome, you know? She's got all this talent and she's got all this skill and she's so smart and she's so this. Like, I wanted that, and I wanted that so bad. I wanted to belong. I wanted to fit in, and I felt I did none of that. From early on, before I even picked up the drugs. Well, what happened? Got that first drug in me, which was a pain pill. A simple pain pill. I took that pill, called it my happy pill. That pill gave me what I thought was a feeling of belonging, was a feeling of fitting in, was a feeling of I can accomplish anything. Oh my God, look at me. I feel great. Like, what is this? Holy crap. I became addicted quickly. But it wasn't to that pill. It was to that feeling. Now, mind you, I had gotten a little house and I had, gotten the basic little things in life. But I lied my way through them. I couldn't keep a relationship. I couldn't do crap. Why? Because all I did was lie. Like, nobody knew me. I didn't allow nobody. Why? Because I was addicted to lying. That was my first addiction, y'all. Lying, manipulating. Couldn't keep a relationship. I sure as shit could blame it on everybody else, though. I could blame it on the other party. I could blame it on the other person. I could blame it on everybody else. They did the wrong, not me. I didn't do nothing wrong. I don't understand what I did wrong. I was this great person. No, I was a crap person. I was an addict. I had an addict's mind. What ended up happening, guys? I got that first drug in me, that first pill, and it was off. I became addicted to that. And then it was, how can I get more? What do I got to do to get more? So what did I do? Hey, my back hurts. Off to the doctors I went. Doctor after doctor after doctor. Lying and manipulating. It became part of the addiction. I then became addicted to the chase. I wasn't addicted to the high anymore, guys. There was no more high. The addiction took over. I was addicted to the chase. I was addicted to manipulating. Fast forward even more. Okay? No more pills. Then it ended up being the dope. Then it was just more drugs after more drugs. Why? Because I was able to. Because I could manipulate my way into getting the money to do it. I could get myself people feeling sorry for me. I hit people with the sob story. I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to lose my home. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose that. My job, everything. They knew something was up. I was calling out of work. I was falling asleep at my desk. I had a good job. A job, if I'd have still been there today, I'd have been top of the company. I'd have been making money. I'd have been doing great, not starting from where I'm at now. I'm grateful for where I am. I wouldn't change anything. But had I not, had things went differently, I'd be in such a different place. Financially, physically, mentally, so many. But I didn't, and this is where I'm at. And this is what I had to get through. I was that person, man. I had co-workers coming to me being like, are you okay? You have lost so much weight. Like, you just told us a week ago that this was going on with you, but now I see this happening. Like, something's not adding up. I would call out of work with some craziness. Somebody died. Yeah, I did that just because I didn't have my shit. Just because I didn't have my fix. Just because I didn't have what I needed to get through my day. So once I got well, I was not happy. I still had to keep going. How much money could I lie to somebody to get? What's that next sob story I could give you? What's that next bullshit I could make you, what could I do to you to make you feel sorry for me, to give to me, without me feeling a bit of remorse? Guys, that is what addiction does to you. You think it's just, hey, I'm addicted to drugs. You're addicted to the addiction. That addiction makes you manipulate, lie, cheat, steal. Zero remorse. Zero remorse. Your conscience says F you. Because you don't have one. You don't care. You don't care who you're taking from. You don't care if it's your family member's last bit of money. Why? Because it's going into your pocket. And you're getting what you need to be well. You're getting what you need to continue through your day. And it's never enough. You're never happy. You're never done. That chase never ends. That cycle is never over. It's just more and more and more. You go to bed, you've accomplished your goal for that moment. You've got enough in your pocket. You've got enough of whatever it is you need to wake up for that next day and start over again. You start thinking about how you're going to call out of work. What bullshit you're going to give them. What bullshit you're going to hit your family members with, your neighbor. What are you going to do and what are you going to say to your mother, father, sister, brother, whomever? What are you going to say today to make them feel sorry for you? What can you go to the county and see if they'll give you something and tell them you're about to get evicted and you need money? What are you going to do? Are you going to go in and steal and try to get a gift card for something by returning what you stole? Yeah, this is what we do. I was addicted to the addiction. It's never enough. And you go to bed thinking this even though you've got everything you need right next to you. You wake up, you get your fix, and it's back off. You're back out doing it again. You have no life. That's how I ended up that person. I lost my job. Now, in all of this, I'd been married twice. I lost my marriages. I lost my job. I lost my home. Damn near lost my child. Okay, she's a grown woman. I told myself I'm doing my best as a mother. I protect her. I love her. And God knows I love that girl. My daughter is my world, man, her and my grandchildren. But I'm going to tell you what, I did not protect her. I could have done better. She didn't need to live that life of addiction that I put her through. She didn't need to see that. She didn't need to experience that. She didn't need any of that. But because of me, she did. So that makes me, I failed her in my eyes. No wonder, there's times I feel a disconnect, even though we've talked and we've built, and, she's been through things, and we've gone, the apologies and the amends and the talks and the tears. I still feel that sense of guilt. Why? Because I put her through hell, an unnecessary amount of hell. But that's what the addiction does, man. You don't think about it. You don't seem to care at the moment. You say you care. You know you do. But the addiction ain't allowing it. It's not allowing you to care. When you look at your mother, she's like, what are you doing, man? Why are you telling me this? Like, do I believe you? I feel bad not believing you, but you haven't given me a reason to believe you. Every story you tell me, I follow up with, and it's a lie. Why, Chris? Why? Take from my grandma, take from my dad, take from my mom. Don't care who I'm hurting. If they say no, I scream, I yelled. I had a temper tantrum. I told them they didn't love me, that they didn't care. They just didn't understand. There ain't nothing wrong with me. I can stop this at any time. I need this for my back. I need this for my head. I need this for my arthritis. I need this for whatever. No, I don't. I needed it because that was something I was chasing. I only needed the drug just to keep me well for the moment. To not feel that pain, that physical withdrawal pain. All that other stuff I did, man, that was another part of the addiction telling me you got to get out there and chase and do and get. Why? Because you deserve it. No, you can't run around here and be sick, man. You got to get out there and make sure you're on top of it. You need to get that money. You need to have it ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes because you keep going. You keep chasing. Until finally, people will beg you, guys. People are going to beg you and say, man, you need to stop. I love you. Look at your child. Look at your job. You have nothing. You're living in a roach motel. Yes, I lived in a motel full of roaches. This is what I ended up living in. I went into rehabs. I went into intensive outpatients. I went to NA meetings, AA meetings. I went to any kind of meetings. Why? Because the law said I had to. My mom begged me to. My grandma begged me to. I wanted to do better for my daughter. I wanted to do better for everybody, but I still wasn't ready for me. I relapsed and I relapsed and I relapsed. Why? Because I wasn't ready. I hadn't lost it all yet. I still was cheating. I was still stealing checks. I was still writing bad checks. I was still committing credit card fraud. I was still using. I was still looking in that mirror saying, all right, man, I'm going to get out there and get this today, and today's going to be it. Tomorrow will be a whole new day. I'll start fresh. I'm going to quit this shit, man. One day I will stop. One day I will be a better person, but today's not the day. I can't feel that pain. I can't feel that hurt. I'm not ready for it. And I look in the eyes of everybody that I know I'm hurting, and it just goes, I look right through them. I was that person on the side of that street holding that sign that I swore I'd never be. I would never put that shit up my nose. I would never put nothing in my arm. I would never inject anything into my body. That's the shit I told myself. And then here I am telling you this story. Here I am telling you this story right now because there's just another lie that I told. It's another lie. I told me, I told the world, whatever. I thought I was going to be something and I ended up nothing. Well, guess what? I had my enough. My tomorrow finally came. The day somebody thought I was a prostitute, somebody thought I was a damn hooker, somebody offered to pay me for sex. Apparently living in a roach motel. Apparently feeling sick as can be. Apparently losing my family. Apparently maybe I'm even being trusted enough to be in my family's homes alone. Hell, I couldn't even cross the threshold to my family's doors at a certain point. Apparently that wasn't enough. What was enough was 3 relapses, a few times in rehab, a few intensive outpatients, a boatload of meetings. Apparently what was enough was somebody wanting to pay me for sex. That was it. That was my turning point. But what happened? I still had changes to make, man. I still thought I was shit. I was nothing. I was a nobody. Who was going to want me? Do you know how many times I told these people I'm going to change? Look, I'm doing great. I've got 2 weeks clean time, please, and the begging just for me to make them believe me for a minute, but for me to fail them, but for me to go right back to my addictive ways. I expected them to believe me. Then I felt this hurt and this pain and this discouragement, this anger when people didn't believe me. And I knew I was doing so well. I made changes. I finally realized that, you know what? I can have it all back. I can have my family. I can have my job. I can have my daughter. I can have my my self-respect. I can have my health. I can have a life. But ain't nobody going to give that to me. I got to earn it. I have to earn it. Just like I earned my title as a junkie, right? I had to earn my title of recovery. It wasn't going to be given to me. Just quitting drugs was not the key. That's going to throw you back into relapse. You got to make those changes when you quit. Yeah, you've got to get rid of people, places, things, all that stigma that you hear. It's true. But I want to tell you, you start making those changes one day at a time. If you relapse, that is okay, dude. Get up, dust it off, roll back on with it. Relapse, as much as I like to say relapse doesn't have to be part of your story, it's going to be. Get up, start over again. There's a little bit of a slip up. You can get back out there and do it. You can do it as many times as you need to stick to it. Make the changes, get the support. Do not do it by yourself. Reach out. Therapists, coaches, meetings, rehabs, that one trusted person, write in your journal, do whatever it is you need to do, but don't do it for anybody but you. Don't do it for the law. Don't do it for your therapist. Don't do it for your probation officer or your parole officer. Don't do it for mom, dad, sister, brother, or even your child, your spouse. For your religious leader. None of it. Don't do it for them. Do it for you. When you decide you're going to do it for you, it's going to take you off that street holding that sign. And it's going to put you there saying, you know what, I can do it. I survived that 1 week, that 30 days, 60, 90, 120. Like, you're surviving it. You're doing it. You're living. But you've got to make that step for yourself. You can't do it for nobody else. I went from being a shit person, manipulating the crap out of everybody, to right now telling you, you can do it. And this is coming from the mind of an addict. This is coming from the mind of somebody who spent time sitting in a corner of a crack shack. Never even smoked crack, but you know what? It was a crack shack. This is coming from the mind of an addict that thought these people were her best friends and felt guilt. I felt guilt cutting them out of my life. Because you know what? I told myself, like, man, they were the ones there when I was down. They were the ones there making sure I wasn't sick. They were the ones there helping me find what I needed. They were the ones there making sure I was right there next to them, to go down with them, to be on the same page as them. Somebody else that they knew if I had money, I'd make sure they were okay. But nobody made sure that I was okay. I didn't care. These were the people that I grew comfortable with. Guys, guess what? You make that decision, you make that change, you make that choice, you make that commitment, and you dedicate yourself to it. You're going to be there for yourself, and you're going to find all these wonderful people finally starting to come around. They're going to come around slowly. Don't expect it right away. We've done many people wrong. We've done many people dirty. But guess what? You'll no longer be that person on that street holding that sign. You'll no longer be that person that you said you would never be. But remember, just as you can get away from being that, just as you can change your life, just as you can become somebody new and like rewrite it, okay? You can start over. Don't forget where you were, because you know what? You can go right back there. You could end up right back on that corner, and that sign can go right back in your hand. So you can't forget. You can't let yourself get so cocky, arrogant. You can't. You cannot do it. Because once that arrogance hits you and that cockiness, and the minute you say, I've got this, you don't have it. You will always be an addict. Recovering. Was it recovering, whatever. You'll always be an addict. But it's what you do with that addiction. Me, I've made that beast is gone. That beast won't come back. It can, it could. But I refuse to allow it to. I'm not going to listen to it anymore. Guys, when you hear that in the back of your mind telling you you're worthless, you're useless, you can't do this, remember, I've said it before and I'll say it again. That is your addiction telling you that. You have worth. Okay? There is hope. You can do it. The only one stopping you from doing it is you. The only one that says, I can't, is you. That voice in the back of your head telling you, I can't. Okay, that's your addiction, man. He's trying to knock, and he's trying to knock hard. He's trying to get back in there. He's trying to ruin your life. Why? Because he wants you back. He wants you back. He wants that control. No more. It's got to go. Tell him. You can now have that control of your life. You'll no longer have to be that person. You'll no longer have to manipulate, lie, cheat, steal. Get out there and work for your money. Get out there and earn that respect for not just your family members, but for yourself. You can do it. You can do it. Have faith in yourself. Don't try to do this on your own. This is not a marathon, okay? There's no rush to get there, okay? You're always going to have to work on recovery. It's a lifestyle change. But guys, once you make that first step, I promise you, it is so worth it. So worth it. The life that you have sitting right here next to you, that life is worth the fight, I promise. My name is Chrissy Lay, and I thank you for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you guys again soon.